Aloha, it's your boy Neglected Gundam. Now today we will be looking at the high grade Gouf Custom giveaway that I'm doing. This is a part of the giveaway that I did, and I have already chosen a winner. We will not be looking at the main colors of the suit, we will be looking at the secondary and third colors, and these will be the more interesting pieces for you. And without further ado, let's get started.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret.
Okay, so here you'll see that I do have the heat staining on the machine gun. You'll have to excuse the panel line, I haven't cleaned that up yet. But if you want to accomplish that in your build, well, this is how you get to that effect. Okay, so first I was just testing out the chrome silver that I was going to lay down, and I went ahead and did a gray base coat and then the chrome silver on top of that. And right now I'm just putting a smoke color on the bottom. Now I will say I went ahead and jumped the gun. I masked off that silver that I had just laid down, and I'm getting ready the gold. So I kind of messed up because weeks later I realized that I wanted to heat stain this machine gun, so I should not have masked off that silver. I should have heat stained it and then masked off the silver. It would have saved me a lot of work. But right here you'll see that I was adding the gold leaf, and then after the gold leaf I add a clear yellow to make that gold leaf just a little bit more gold. And then here you can see that this is not heat stained yet, so I had messed up and done that process backwards, because at that time I didn't realize I was going to heat stain this machine gun. I just knew I was going to heat stain the big machine gun, not this little tiny one. So yeah, I went ahead and had to mask that off. And now these little tiny strips, those ones I was afraid that the color was going to leak under, but after all is said and done and I painted it, it came out perfect. So for the first color, I should say for the first two colors of the heat staining, it's going to be clear blue. And it all depends on how you apply it. You'll get two different colors of clear blue to show up on your piece. So right now I was laying down a very thin light coat of that clear blue, so it's going to be more thin. And right now I have applied a thicker, more concentrated color of that clear blue. So that band will be a little bit darker, and then the one above it will be a little bit lighter. Now I went ahead and did clear purple, or the best color representation of clear purple as I could do, because I only have purple and a clear color. So I went ahead and put 4 drops of clear color, a little bit of that purple, but then when I did the thinner, I think instead of adding the 1 drop I was supposed to, I added like 3 drops of thinner, so it made that color really thin, and I had to really take my time with this clear purple, because if I sprayed in one area for too long, it was going to pool up. So I really had to concentrate on that clear purple. And these 2 smaller machine guns came out perfect with it. However, you can see the water makes it a little glossy like that, and you can just tell that it's a little too thin, so I had to really pay attention. Okay, so next comes the brown. I didn't have clear brown, so I used the 4 drops of clear, a little scoop of brown, and then 1 drop of thinner. But this piece is so small and the brown had to be so concentrated that it's really not see-through. I had a little more real estate to work on with the bigger Gatling gun, so I really focused on creating a clear brown color. Okay, so for the Gatling gun, I went ahead and put smoke on this end, and then I hand painted, it was gunmetal. And so now I'm just masking over that gunmetal to protect it, and then I'll get into the heat staining. Okay, so when it comes to the bigger Gatling gun, I think it's more fun to paint this because you have a little bit more real estate on the piece to get your colors right. So right here I'm going to start with the clear blue, and I'm going to do the darker band first. That is like 1 step below to where I would put the lighter blue. So I want to get that darker band first in a more concentrated area and color. I still want to leave it opaque to where you can see the gun barrels beneath it, but this is where this project is really just fun to create, because like, who doesn't like heat stained barrels? That's awesome. It looks like the gun's been firing all night. So like I said, you just want to get this concentrated blue first, and then that will leave the space above it to be a little more opaque. However, in this instance, it was a little more opaque than I wanted, so I went ahead and made that light blue a little bit darker, but you still get the same effect. You get the light blue and then the darker blue right below it. Next, I'm going to move on to the purple, and like I said, this purple was so watered down with that thinner, I had to be very careful with it. But again, I just want that nice opaque purple because this is not an opaque color. I had to make it. And after that, I was able to move on to the brown. However, you will see it's like that part that holds the gun together while it's spinning, that metal piece, and then also the little tiny like rings that hold that together too, where I painted those gunmetal. You'll see that I just did my dark brown on top of that masking tape, and then I just pretended like I was painting the actual barrels, and then went down to the lighter brown on the bottom. I didn't want to skip down past all those metal pieces and stretch out the heat staining, so I just kept it the same pattern that I do: the light blue, the purple, dark brown, light brown. So even with the reinforced metal there down below it, I just continue with that light brown. This piece here was actually rather fun. I went ahead and did the entire piece in gold, and then I hand painted the chrome silver tips of the barrels. Now I'm actually taking the clear blue and I'm hand painting those chrome pieces once again, so it's like the heat stained at the very tips of the barrels. That's a pretty fun piece to do, and after that I move on to smoke. However, I do want to say with this build, I haven't showed you guys the main colors yet, and one of the reasons why I've taken so long to put out this video is because I went and before I did these colors, I did the main colors of the suit, and I gotta tell you, it looks great. I just had this clear vision in my mind of what I wanted it to look like, and I was a little worried to get the main color down because the main color had to be just perfect in my opinion. And oh my goodness, it looks so good. I love this suit. I think that Tyler, when he sees it, he's gonna love this suit. However, I want him to see it in person before I release what I'm doing with it, so it's a surprise to him. But man, you guys should stick through with this build because it's awesome. It came out perfect. It came out just the way that I wanted it to. So now that I'm done gushing about the suit, like I said, I put smoke on the tips of the barrels, and that makes it look like it's been rotating and catching that smoke. Okay, on to the knee guards. These pieces here, man, I have a love-hate relationship with these pieces. They are awesome, they were fun, but they were a headache. So I had done the pre-shading that you first saw before the gray, and then I put the gray on. Then I masked it. Now I'm doing the gold leaf, and then the clear yellow. So I got that done. Okay, now I'm taking the masking tape off, and it did not come out great because the paint was not dry. I think I put the masking tape on a little too soon. I didn't wait like a full day, and I put it on a little too soon, so it pulled up some of that post shading that I had done with the smoke. And then also underneath the masking, the gold kind of like slipped underneath it, so I had to go in with a hand brush with the red brown and kind of clean that up. But when I did that, it took away my post shading, and it was so annoying because basically that meant I had to do the red brown again and then also the gray again, and then after I did all that I would have to post shade it once again. So I went ahead and used the brown, and I went ahead and painted underneath it because when you put this on the knee guard and bend the knee, you can kind of see like a lip part of it. So I did that. And then also you can kind of see on the brown, it has that light brown area, and then when I rotate it again, it had like where you could see the masking tape. So I had to fix the brown and the gray. And when you're mixing paints, all I can say is you just need experience. I can't tell you how many drops of paint versus thinner I used because the thinner dries out of the paint, so you constantly have to adjust your brush and the ratio, and given a little bit of time, you have to put more drops of thinner in the paint. It's a huge mess. It's a learning experience. I would normally tell you guys like how many drops I used for things like that, but I can't, because this is literally just an experience-based thing. You just have to go through trial and error. Your paint's going to be too thick, your paint's going to be too thin. You just have to gain experience, and once you have enough experience, you'll just have that consistency in your mind. When you see it, you'll know it, and you'll be able to do it. Look at how clean this comes out. However, you know, it took me back a step or two. So in your projects, don't ever be worried if you have to go back a step or two. If you're worried about progress and you feel that you're having backwards progress, I could have felt that way taking off the masking tape. Could have felt that way, but I didn't. Even though I had to repaint everything, I still feel that it's forward progress. So that's what I think about these pieces. I think they came out awesome. I love them. They're really cool. Now this is going to be his eye camera. So I'm just doing the pre-shading, and then yeah, that's after I masked everything and put the clear pink on. I had to go back in with the hand brush and just reapply the clear pink on the very edge. And this is the machine gun. I just had to do more masking to get the pipes to be gold, and then after I painted that, well, then I had to hand brush on the gray again. This is going to be dark gray, and these pieces are so small, it's not even worth me trying to do pre-shading on it, so I just went in with the hand brush and did that. Now this is going to be the last one, the scope, and again more masking with the gold that I did, the gold leaf and then the yellow, and once I take all that off, then I'm going to go ahead and hand paint the silver. So it's going to be chrome silver that I hand paint, and then I am going to do a clear orange. However, you won't see the clear orange on this video. But I hope you liked this in-depth look of just like the side pieces, basically. You know, you haven't seen the main colors that I'm using for this suit. If you want to go ahead and go on this journey with us to see the builds that I do, go ahead, subscribe to the channel. If you like this content, go ahead and like it. And if you want to go ahead and comment, go ahead and do that, because I will reply to you. So I hope that you found this interesting and a little bit helpful. Maybe you gained a couple ideas for new techniques you want to try. And all I have to say to that is, until next time, I hope you don't feel that neglected now.